So I'm going to talk you through creating a contact lens record for a patient. Obviously only optoms logged in can create these records. If you get your patient up, you can then click the plus button. Obviously, like side tests, you can create templates, but in this case we're just going to go with the blank contact lens record to start with here. We can then go through our history. Again, from the Optom menu, you can put some of these predetermined things in if you want to. I'm going to put once to try dailies, first time wearer, once for occasional use, for example. Lifestyle, let's put that they're a driver and they're working in an office. Health-wise, no health issues, no medications. There you go. And then your health stuff's not going to be the back of the eye, it's going to be more the front of the eye. So we're going to be etc, etc. That can be all put in there. You've got a fit-in box if you need it. I suggest in here you're going to put things like measuring horizontal iris diameter, base curves, etc. Advice at the end, nice and easy really. Teach and trial, etc. Don't worry about putting any recall dates in there. We'll actually do those higher up. This patient here, first time contact lens wearer, so there's no prescriptions at the moment. You know that, by the way, from the prescriptions tab. We've got a site test here, but we don't have any contact lens prescriptions. So if we go back here, our refraction panel is empty. We'll put the last site test up because it's obviously going to be pretty similar, isn't it? 40-year-old patient, small ad, etc. In this case, let's say we're not actually dispensing this ad, so we'll remove that there. And what we need to do now is put a contact lens name in. If you've put, if you've gone into your product admin and you've put some lens names in, actually a lot of these will pop up automatically, and they'll actually be in this list up here. But if you haven't put any in, you're gonna have to put it in manually. So let's say we're going with a Pro Clear lens. Pro Clear. Material I haven't got a clue, so we'll leave that blank, and we're going to go 8414 branching 2. Same on this side. 2. There we go. Solutions, I'm going to put them on a multi-purpose, and the replacement schedule is monthly. All this will pop into your prescriptions tab when we're done. And let's say, for example, I've taken the patient, I've actually put this in their eye now, 150 right and left, Pro Clears with this base curve, etc. I can make notes here, so I can put, for example, good coverage, movement 0.5. Let's put that one in there as well. There we go. And obviously you put in your visions as well, or sorry, your VAs with these lenses, and that's your end result. If you want to pop this in as a fit-in technique and you want it to appear down here, we can now save this. We can put it in as a contact lens fit, if that makes sense. So it's a fit that we put in their eyes, and we want to save it as part of the records, and that's fine there. And what will actually happen is it will pop it in this panel here. So all the stuff we put in is all still here. Let's decided we wanted more movement, etc. So we're going to put this back up into the panel, i.e. we're not going to dispense this because we want something different. Presuming this exists, which I'm sure it doesn't, we can then, for example, change the base curve. There we go. And then we'll increase this movement to 1 millimeter. So there we go. Now I've decided I'm completely happy, and I'm going to save this as the prescription we're giving them. First time wearer, so it's going to be a trial. So I'll click trial, and rather than the recall date, what we do is we give the prescription an expiry date. So if you want them back in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, you don't put them on a recall for 2 or 4 weeks, you make the lens expire after that time. So we're actually going to let the patient have these for 3 weeks. And that will stamp that down as our our trial. If it was the case that the patient had come back and they've been wearing them successfully, we want to issue a real prescription. The only difference would have been that when we saved it, we'll have outputted it as a dispense, and maybe for 3 months, 6 months, etc. Okay. Either way, that record now, I'm just going to refresh the page so that my prescriptions tab updates. Because this is now a contact lens patient with a real prescription, the prescriptions tab now has a little CL next to it. If we open that, we've now got a list of contact lenses prescriptions here. And we can then click in there and we can view those. So the point being that the Optom does the Recotron contact lens record, but when it comes to this section here, this tells the staff that they were dispensed on the 17th of October. They've got an expiry date basically of a month, so that means potentially they can buy more lenses, they can order more, etc. It tells them all the details, the lens, the sizes, and the prescription, etc. Any mistakes you make on that day, you can actually just come in here and edit. And say you've got some historical contact lenses to put on that you're not producing a Recotron, from this tab you could also create a new one and you can produce a blank one from that. As I said before, contact lens templates work exactly the same as sight test ones. So if I like this and I want to template it, I can literally just click here and save it as, for example, my contact lens fit, and save it, and then that will be in my Optom admin menu.